Chaz knows that his brother Tracy is an expert at gathering information.
I wonder if he knows that his brother is in a sunken place.
Yeah, last week he was belly aching about being able to make a decision. This week he shows us all his asshole tendencies. Today we're going to be talking about OWN Network's reality-based TV series, Ready to Love, season number 9, episode number 12.
So let's just get into it. They're all at the barbecue. Maya for Lauren, Vanessa and Patrice for Chaz, Alonzo, Justin, and Maika. Lauren talking to Chaz, and evidently they probably heard something about how he behaved with Maya. And Chaz asked him whether he apologized sincerely.
Chaz telling somebody they should apologize for their behavior.
Lauren was saying that he doesn't want to appear like he's a simp.
To appear like he's soft, that he's from New Jersey and he's hard.
Maya tells us that she really is not into men who are possessive or who are aggressive. That's not the energy she's trying to attract in her life. And she and Laurent excused themselves from the table and they went to sit elsewhere. And instead of calming down and apologizing sincerely, he started talking about, what he would do and what he wouldn't do, and that there was a brother pushed up on Maya in the club and he didn't like it. Yada, 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 yada.
Yeah, because he was triggered. And I'm triggered to call him a few choice names that I have in the repertoire, but I'm not going to do it.
So he was triggered, huh?
He was acting like he was a strong 5.
She said that she didn't like how he handled stuff, and she got up and walked, he got up rather and walked away from the table. She tried to persuade him to come back to have a conversation. He wasn't having it, and then she decided that she's gonna leave.
Iran had a tude. It was because Maya was not acting like he thought she should have acted and giving him the responses that he was looking for. Instead of him just kind of being calm about the situation and just letting her have her space, he decided to show how much he doesn't understand about, not only his own behavior, but how much he doesn't understand about how women respond to when you show your, hindquarters in public.
The brother doesn't think on his feet. It is what it is. Tommy comes through. They have to choose who they're gonna end up with. And Maya interrupted him and said, well, she thinks at this point she is done. She has nothing left in the tank.
She opts out of the process.
Laurent claims that he cared a lot about her.
He said, well, if she's out, then I'm out of this process as well.
The men got to introduce their families to the women. And after the fact, they need to make a decision and they're ready to love and walk into the sunset or the rainstorm or the windstorm
Or the storm.
that we all know is coming.
First up was Chaz.
Yeah, and he's meeting with Patrice, and he brings through his brother Tracy, and he tells us his brother is high in the military or some law enforcement.
Like that's supposed to be intimidating.
That's supposed to mean something,
right?
Okay. Once Patrice came through, he rapid fire asked her a whole lot about herself. He wanted to find out the goodies about any story that she could tell about some entertainer or what have you. And she said, no, I cannot. I signed a
Non-disclosure
agreement, and she refused to budge, so that shut him down. Justin and his brother Jay, and they met with Maika. And I personally don't see any chemistry between Maika and Justin.
But Justin does.
Well, Mike is a very attractive woman and she got the body yachty. So maybe he's distracted, but I'm concerned when Justin says he's a man who needs a lot of time by himself.
He needed a space.
He needs his space.
And that's of critical importance to him within the confines of a relationship.
And you do understand a woman with children she's gonna be hard pressed to deal with a man who needs his space.
He's never been a father before. Her kids are
Young kids.
yeah, they're younger. So how would he be able to handle that situation?
Justin, can we go to the park to play some ball? No, I need my space. How is that gonna work? Anyway, she likes what she likes.
As part of one of the things that she kind of reveals to his brother Jay was that she might be interested in having another kid.
Now, I was stunned when she said that because Justin hasn't done anything to make her ovaries just start yearning to be further alive. She was adamant about not having any more kids.
Oh, it was a strong no. Not only were we surprised, Justin was too.
Yeah, he even mentioned that.
Yes, indeed.
When she left, Jay asked him, "She looks like a good woman, but are you gonna do the right thing?"
He telling on
And
telling on
I was like, okay, there
telling
it
on his brother.
is.
Telling
There
on
it
the
is.
telling on his brother.
He got
So
some situationships going on.
sold all his tapes.
That's why he need more time by himself.
Because Jay basically questioned whether or not his brother is mature enough and ready enough for this grown woman with kids. Next up was Alonzo Rousseau, who invited his cousin, was it Jahan?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
John, not Jayon, John.
I thought it was Jahan.
His cousin
His
and
cuz.
Alonzo for me seems like he's very immature, and I'm not sure what this brother is doing that causes Patrice to have butterflies. Every time you ask him a hard conversation, he sidesteps it. I'm not sure what she's experiencing. Maybe a lot of this is on the editing floor, and we're not privy to seeing some situations between them. But this is another relationship. I don't see any sexual energy or tension or
Sparks or
anything.
anything like
No,
that.
no sparks
Yeah,
whatsoever.
it seems like from my vantage point, Patrice is attracted to the fact that Alonzo likes to have a lot of fun, and that's what she wants to do at this point in her life. And she's seemingly connected with somebody that she feels she can do that with.
Yeah, but you could have a friend who you like to hang out with or what have you, but certainly you don't make them your man in an intimate way.
Right, and he's
Because
definitely not looking to be friend zoned
she even said that he is a good boyfriend, but he's not a good husband.
from her vantage
Now, if
point
she knows that, why is she messing with this joker?
because she like having fun. That's what her focus is right now, and that's more attractive to her than her other option.
Chaz meets up with Tracy again, and this time they're interviewing Vanessa. And Vanessa now knows who she is dealing with. He asked her if decision there was today, would she choose him? And she said, "Hey, I don't know."
I'm not sure.
When he asked her, I was having a difficult time at the retreat, and I left
Right.
like a little, you know. When I left,
What? Look, what?
when I left, why didn't I get a
Wait a minute,
call?
oh, you skipping over, you skipping over,
Why
you
didn't
ignore me.
why didn't I get
Oh,
a call from you? And she said, well, when you left, it seemed like you made that decision and did not consider the ladies who were there for you. He was none too happy about her
she
response.
flipped the script on his behind, didn't she?
So when she
Mm.
left, Tracy said he thinks that Patrice seems like she's a lot of fun. She's a nice person, but he thinks Vanessa is closer to what he wants, but he's not there yet. So
Still hadn't made that decision. Still waffling, still riding that fence.
I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking, but
Why not?
you know,
That's what the people want. No,
okay,
talk
I
to him. Talk to him.
but I'm trying to stay off the cliff. I want to be right with God. So we'll get to the salacious one at the end.
Okay.
Justin meets
Mike.
Michael, and he tells her, you know, she is it. He chooses her,
Yeah, baby, it's you.
and love may be developing for him. She said, "Well, that's good and well, but I can't say those words to you just yet. She chooses him as well, but she wants him to trust her
Right.
and not sabotage himself by being in his head and second guessing stuff.
Right. Justin decides that he's going to choose Mike as well, complimenting her on her maturity and her intelligence and her attractiveness, and basically saying he wants to pursue this relationship with her or their connection beyond the process. So he's all in for that as well.
Yeah, and he had
A gondola, yes.
and it was covered with flowers, and they
Right.
got into it
And they
and
toasted their
toasted with champagne, and that was a nice touch.
right.
Patrice has to choose between two guys.
Right. So
And
first she meets with Chaz.
first she meets with Chaz,
Mm.
and Chaz brings her roses,
Oh yeah.
and they did not look dead
No,
or wilted,
and they were real. They weren't fake.
and he hands them to her and said that he appreciated her, and because she was a safe place for him when he was feeling bad and low.
You mean belly aching?
Yeah, he chooses
Because that
her.
pressure was on him to make a decision
Right.
about who he wanted to get close to and make a sincere connection with and
Yeah.
focus on
Yeah.
at the retreat house.
Yeah, something like that. He chooses her. And she said, well, while he may be good, everything about him is good on
He checks off many of the boxes and all.
He doesn't have any sexual attraction to him.
No spark.
So she will have to pass on his offer.
Yeah, and it kind of broke his face, I think. I think that kind of caught him off guard because he was expecting something else in the way of a response.
The persona Chazzy, the dude with the house and the businesses, and open mirrors gonna happen, and they're gonna want to keep their eyes on what he has rather than who he is. So thankfully, she was of a different mindset. She meets up with Alonso, and my God, I don't know if they had a stylist who dressed Alonso, but whew, good God Almighty.
But need some help.
But a man said that he chooses her, that, she is what he wants, and she said that he's a lot of fun to be with. He gives her butterflies, etc., etc.
And he's authentic.
Really? He's authentic?
Well, that's what he said. I mean, and that's what it seemed like. He was hesitant to kind of reveal who he is with the heart issues, and didn't really want to have the serious conversations.
So how is that being authentic?
In other ways.
Okay.
Showing how genuine he was and how much of
All right.
a kind of nerd he can be,
All
and
right.
immature he can be.
All right, my brother.
That was authentic, wasn't
it? Okay, my brother.
Why are you trying to okey doke me?
He doesn't seem like a serious brother. There's a time for fun, and there's a time to be serious and sincere.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I've seen him be serious or, sincere. It's all about fun for him. Chaz meets up with Vanessa, and she said, well, I don't think that you're a serious guy. I'm gonna choose myself. And all of a sudden, Chaz's demeanor changed. He said, I know you like sunflowers. So he had some wilted sunflowers, and he gave it to her.
Right. And I think one of the first things he said once he had heard about Vanessa's decision was, yeah, I was going to make that same choice too. Already he's playing defense because I guess he's embarrassed at this point.
Well, he knew he would make that choice because he had that dead rose in the middle that he made sure he pulled out.
That was inconspicuously placed in the
in
middle.
the wilted sunflowers.
Right.
And he pulled the dead yellow rose out and said, this rose represents
right.
our relationship, that it was dead, and that he thought that she was a jealous person,
Yeah.
and she had some toxic energy that he does not want
In
to
his
be
life,
a part of or in his life.
at this particular moment.
Right. He's not getting rid of his dog.
that you don't like.
that she doesn't like. Uh, I mean, people are touchy with their dogs. I don't see anybody walking through someone's life and immediately telling them, I don't like your animal. You can leave.
Well, Chaz showed a different side of him, and one that I think we referenced earlier in terms of and referred to as having asshole tendencies.
Chaz showed a level of evil and darkness for me because it takes some kind of person
To
to go
plan to
to
do that
go to the store, to go to the flower shop, to get a dead rose, and then to put it in some wilted sunflowers. Deliberate attempt to humiliate and downgrade her was
on
was
camera.
evil
On
in
camera,
my
it
mind.
was immature. I don't understand why he felt like this would accomplish whatever his goal was to try to humiliate and or embarrass this young lady. I think it had just the opposite effect. What kind of clown is this guy, showing up as, or what kind of asshole tendencies is this guy choosing to put on display at this moment that he thinks is going to make him look better or elevate his stature in
Be-
any possible way?
because I don't know where this brother's walk is with God. He mentions God, and he appreciates Patrice praying for him, and he talked about God. My question is, would God be pleased with that
With
kind of
his behavior,
behavior?
right?
Would God say, "Yeah, bro, yeah"? He knows better.
Do better,
He deliberately tried to humiliate her.
right? And
And at the end, she picks up these flowers, and I didn't understand why she would pick the flowers up.
she should have
And
left
then
him right there with his ass
he asked her to leave so he could,
to be alone with his
be
thoughts.
blessed with all the funky and ugliness he just released into the world that will come back to him.
Yeah, it definitely
He
went boomerang.
he seemed not to understand that. You
Yeah,
can't release that on someone and expect nothing to happen
yeah,
to you.
I can imagine, and it's just a guess, that I would like to put out there that that wasn't received very well by viewers, and that he received a lot of flack and or static as a
Because
result of that.
she didn't do anything to deserve that.
Nothing at
She
all.
was a little whiny,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
she just wanted to get with someone to love, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, and it could be
That's all she was
she
doing.
was whiny and maybe it came off as a little thirsty as well. But the
Yes.
bottom line is this: in no way, shape, or form should that kind of response come back to her from this dude based on what she gave out.
But we wish you peace, love. We wish you happy Easter for those who celebrate it. May God continue to bless and keep your house, keep your mind,
Keep everybody in good health.
and in safety as well. And do not accept toxic people in your life to talk sideways to you. Love yourself enough to know how a man should behave when he's around you and how you should behave when you're around him. That's just standard basic stuff.
I think that's well said.
Bless you. We love you. And have a good one.
Absolutely. Happy Easter, y'all.
Happy Easter. Bye bye.
Right.